Yeah, but John Strahl, to me, was epitomized what I wanted my life to be like.
Yes.
I wanted to have open heart to everybody, and I think his desire and what my desire has always been in athletics, particularly, and in teaching in physical education, is that our job is to provide an opportunity for young people to use and develop their God-given talents for His glory.
Right.
And that is one of the things that I've tried to push all the time.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things that my mom and dad gave to me. My mom gave me a great work ethic,
Right.
reinforced with the razor strap.
Right.
She had the servant spirit, though.
Yeah.
She fed every preacher, missionary there ever was. My dad taught me to be a competitor. He played softball till he was 65, and Mom made him quit when he got spiked.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would think. Good grief.
You
Wow.
know,
Yeah.
I mean, so those are pretty good examples, you know.
Yeah, sure.
And I went to, Cecile went to first grade down there, and they said, "Honey, what's your daddy doing?" She said, "He just plays all the time." And kind of,
Yeah.
you know, that is what I've
Right.
really looked at. I've tried to have a good good spirit about everything.
Absolutely.
And I was just reading this morning on faithfulness and being faithful and doing what the Lord tells you to do.
Right, yeah.
And I failed many times, but you know.
Yeah.
But Greenville College was good to me. I was a country boy. Came out of the
How did you
cornfield.
hear about Greenville?
Well, I had applied at another school, but our pastor had moved to Pana,
Yeah.
and his son and I were the best of friends, and so he said, "Why don't you and I go to Greenville together?"
The boy, his
Yeah,
son.
Albert Rust. And so we went to Greenville and roomed together for one semester. Then he transferred to Laterno Tech.
Really?
Yeah, but I was there.
Yeah, sure.
But see,
And you were from Iowa coming in.
from North Iowa, and the thing about it is I had an opportunity to go to the University of Iowa and play baseball, but I went down there. It was too big for me. I was from a little bitty town of 300 people.
Right.
And I played on a defending state championship team, but it just it was overwhelming to me.
Right, right.
So I came to Greenville, and I felt like I fit in pretty well.
Right.
I mean, there were some good athletes there. And when I came to Greenville, there were a bunch of returned GIs. And those guys
Yeah,
were a challenge to keep up with.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But we had one guy who played in the 2nd Marine Division baseball team and played on our baseball team at Greenville's, Bob Sickmiller.
And who was your coach then, Strong?
No, guy, I've got it.
That's right.
Anyway, but Bob carried the New Testament in his hip pocket. And that's where I saw some of the first witnessing through athletics.
Wow.
He
was on the Marine team.
He had been in, well, I think it was 2nd Army Division.
Okay,
I think.
Second Army.
But anyhow, he had come back to college, and he was like 24, 25, 26 years old when he came to college. But anyhow, I learned that you could be a witness from athletics.
Right.
And of course, that's the thrill that I've had to see some of our boys take their testaments, sit on the side of a hill, and lead an opponent to the Lord.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but that was reinforced and given to me as a good example at Greenville.
Right.
And of course, Spencer Mulholland, he was my favorite professor. And I'd sit in the back of the room and go, try to get him to cut off.
That is
And he had me teach a lot of his classes too.
Oh, okay.
And
What did he teach? Physical education?
no, sociology.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, he was a sociology professor. And is his son still around?
Hey, his son
Spencer Nolan's son?
is in Indianapolis, and his nephew is one of my best friends, coaches the women's basketball team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and in fact, when we go back over to Louisville tonight, we're staying in the same hotel. And he's coaching the 6 o'clock game, and I'm coaching the 8 o'clock game. So, yeah, Spencer's grandson.
Is that right?
Is that right? Nephew. What would Roy be?
Grandson, wouldn't he?
Grandson. That's right, grandson.
Because that's Dick and
Yeah,
Royal's dad.
That's right. Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you, Strahl came in one day, one morning, he said, we've got 21 exchange students here, and they want to play football. He said, you know what football is? I said, where I'm from, it's kick the can.
Right.
He said, you're the coach. I said, I can't even pronounce their names. He said, you don't have to, just step out there and point and say,
Where were they from? South America?
Iran.
Iran.
Really?
We had 21 Iranian exchange students.
Wow. Wow. And
And
they could play soccer.
Oh man, could they could play. We didn't have many people to play, but they did. We played. I don't know. We played schools in St. Louis and that area,
Right,
Because
sure.
soccer was pretty big around there.
Right, yeah.
But that was the kind of thing Strahl would do.
Sure.
You know, and gave me a great experience. I ran the intramural program, and he just left me do it,
Yeah, sure.
and that's the way you learn, by doing.
Right, yeah.
And we went to scout players
Right.
in the area,
Right.
and Johnetta and June would go with us and get upset at us. Janetta was a freshman, and of course June and John were young.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
And but we had a great time. There were some very, very solid people in Greenville, and they were people that you could gauge. If you set your life in their same road, you'd be okay.
Yeah.
And some of them put up with me. You know, I'm telling you stuff that shouldn't even be told. Built a new library. And I was old. And they didn't have any furniture in the garden. So 8 of us, all seniors, we did a midnight requisition at the grill, which was up above the gym, and moved all the furniture out of there down into the garden. And we made a stuffed dummy of the president, Dr. Long, and Miss Dare, who was the librarian at the time, and she always rolled her hair back under, you know, and everything.